GOP Congressman and National Guard Colonel Michael Waltz sits on the Armed Services Committee, and he joins us now. Colonel, thanks for being here. So you heard him say we need to supply weapons. You got it. And then quickly say we need to designate him as a war criminal. What does Vladimir Putin actually respect and care about now if we're trying to bring this war to a conclusion that's advantageous to the Ukrainians?
Vladimir Putin is going to continue to push until he meets steel, cold, hard steel, hard power, and military might. Pete, today we have Secretary of Defense Austin and General Milley before the Armed Services Committee. My question is focused on two things. One, we're providing weapons, yes, but we need to provide more sophisticated weapons. And number two, where's the training that goes alongside it? The NATO commander last week testified that we are not conducting any training, Pete. And you well know you can't provide some of these more sophisticated weapons like counter-battery radar to go after their artillery and just hand them an instruction manual as you load it on a truck.
Oh, so, Colonel,
you actually have to provide the training, and we're not doing it.
We were training them before, right? But not anymore. Right. And then the weapon systems are going to them.
That's right. We've stopped it. Mainly, we focused on training the javelins, but all of these other things that finally, belatedly, probably a little too late, that we're providing now, and the Congress is pushing them to provide. Why aren't we conducting that training either in Poland or some other country so that they can actually operate it? And then the final thing, and this is the big policy question, why aren't we supporting Zelensky in an effort to win, to actually drive Russia completely off of Ukrainian soil? They just struck into Russia proper in that oil field that the Ukrainians just hit. Are we going to actually continue to help the Ukrainians go on offense, even if that means hitting inside Russia, or will Biden decide that's too escalatory, too provocative, and start pumping the brakes? And those are the policy issues we need to get to the bottom of right now.
Those are the questions asked, for sure. All right, on another topic here in your state, on American soil, the so-called Don't Say Gay bill, which doesn't say gay and has been totally mischaracterized from the beginning, the Florida Parental Rights law. Well, the White House was asked about it yesterday, and they're standing behind it. And they're refusing to talk about at what age children should be taught about sexual orientation and gender identity. Here's the exchange between Jen Psaki and our own Peter Doocy.
One about this new law in Florida. At what age does the White House think that students should be taught about sexual orientation and gender identity?
As we look at this law, what we think it's a reflection of is politicians in Florida propagating misinformed, hateful policies that do absolutely nothing to address the real issues. This is a politically charged, harsh law that is putting parents and LGBTQ plus kids in a very difficult, heartbreaking circumstance.
So she didn't answer the question and totally mischaracterized a bill, which simply says parents should deal with this, sex and gender thing maybe when they're in kindergarten.
Yeah, well, let me help her out. Let me tell you what the answer is not. We should not be teaching sexuality to 5-year-olds, to pre-kindergartners, to first graders, second graders. It's just unacceptable. That kind of issue, even if it would come up, I know you're a dad, Pete. So am I. I don't see that coming up with 5, 6, 7-year-olds.
Not unless
but to the extent it does,
not unless the adults bring it up. You know?
That's right. That needs to be handled at home, number one. Number two, right now the United States is sitting 31st in the world in math, and I believe 9th or 10th in reading. Let's teach reading and writing to our kindergartners through first graders. And at the core of this, Pete, is parents taking their children's education back. This is a parental Bill of Rights in terms of taking charge of their education in Florida. And that's what this bill is going to do, and it's supported by a majority of Floridians.
For sure. Governor DeSantis leading the way and others standing behind him. It's common sense. It's basic decency. And yet, look at the way it's been demonized. One last thing, real quick. So you're a former Green Beret, colonel of the National Guard, congressman, and now children's book author as well. Tell us about Dawn of the Brave coming out today.
This is, Pete, this is a book about service, about teamwork, about serving a cause greater than yourself. It's intended for 6 to 10-year-olds. It's part of a subscription. You get one a month. If you go to bravebooks.com, it is not available on Amazon. bravebooks.com, and each month you get a book focused on different family values, on faith, on family, in this case on teamwork and on serving your country, and all of the characters come together to defend Freedom Island from a group of pirates that want to take their freedoms away. We're really excited about it. And by the way, Pete, $15 of every subscription goes to Samaritan's Purse for all of the wonderful work they're doing in Ukraine. Again, everybody's wringing their hands about the garbage that our kids are being taught. Well, let's take that back. Let's get them some conservative, traditional content in their hands, and that's why I'm so excited to partner with Brave Books on this and do just that
for your kids and grandkids. Bravebooks.com. Colonel, thank you very much for your time. Congrats on the book.
All right, thanks, Pete.
You got it.